channel. So as promised, in my flip through of this lovely book by Rachel Mintz, which is called In Love, just about see it there, I said to you I was going to be doing a colour and chat in here and giving you a little catch up really. So I've chosen this gorgeous image of the little rabbit going to post a letter, and I'm going to be starting off with Black Widow pencils. This may be a 2-part video or a 1-part video depending on how I get on. So I'm going to start with the straw hat and the post box, I think. And the colours that I have chosen are Black Widow Stink Bug as a base. Then we have Scorpion Dark Tan, Black Widow Foxy Brown, and Dark Skin, so the skin dark, set Cinnamon. So yeah, I'm going to go in with my base colour first, which as I said is the Stink Bug. And we'll get into the video. Let's start on this hat. So I hope you guys are all okay. I don't really do colour and chat videos very often, do I? So this is interesting and kind of foreign territory for me. As I usually sort of do live streams rather than colour and chats. But it's quite late at night. It is almost 1 AM in the morning, and I had the flip through video to do, so I've recorded that, and hopefully you will have seen that video before this video if I do everything correctly. And yeah, I flicked through and sort of was picturing how I wanted to do each image, but this one stuck out to me the most, so I figured I would go for that. And I can't remember what Black Widow pencils I like on Create Space paper, so I thought I would pull them out and give them some love. I have got another set of pencils I would like to test on this paper, but I haven't done my swatch video of those yet, so I will post that first before I use them. So yeah, as I was saying, I hope you guys are all okay. I've been missing for a week and a bit, maybe 2 weeks, due to being on holiday. We went down to the Devon coast. We went to Paynton, Torquay, Brixham, all around that area of the UK, which is known as the English Riviera. It's very pretty, and I think I like it because it reminds me of France. So we spent Monday to Friday there, and then obviously my mum came back here with us, so I had to wait for Mum to go home before I could start recording more videos. But I have missed you guys so much and my YouTube and my colouring. So yeah, this month I've mainly been working on whips, as I have quite a few of them. So I've got about 8 or 9 pages done, I think. Not all of them were whips, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. Today I did, you can't really see, today I did this page, which wasn't a whip, but the other side was, and yeah, ignore that, it looks terrible at the moment, but hopefully it won't when I'm finished with it. So I've been doing whips this month. Just make sure you're zoomed in enough to see. So I've done a very light base of stink bug on that. Now I'm going to go in with the dark tan in some of the shaded areas. What else has been happening? Regarding my health, I went to hospital yesterday for what I thought was going to be my ultrasound scan to see if I've got gallstones. But it turns out that when I was in A&E and the doctor said he'd booked my scan, he actually hadn't. He'd just booked me an appointment with the surgical assessment unit. So when I turned up to that yesterday, it was kind of like, shouldn't I have had the scan before coming in here? Really? And she was like, well, yeah, but it wasn't booked. So what we'll do is we'll give you a check over and book you in for the ultrasound and then give you a phone number to call. So you can ask for what they call a hot appointment, which will sort of, get me right up the top of the list for the follow-up assessment. Sort of 48 hours, 24 hours or something after my scan. So, more trips to the hospital, yay. But yeah, I haven't, touch wood, had much pain since I was admitted to A&E. So that's good. I said to Steve, maybe I had a gallstone and passed it, and that was what the pain was. Was that it kind of got stuck, but then I managed to pass it. I'm not sure. So no doubt the scan will let us know if there's anything there or not. So yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on. We are due to travel again in 3 Saturdays' time, I think, mid-September. We're going down to Cambridgeshire to my parents to see the dogs, the puppies. For any of you guys that watch me and don't know, unfortunately my puppies aren't allowed to live with me where I live, so they have to live with my mum. So we're going down to see the puppies and then going on holiday to sunny Skegness for a week. I'm using Foxy Brown now just to darken these shaded areas up. These pencils are working quite nicely on this paper and I'm only using very light pressure. So yep, that's what's happening. September I had planned to do a hashtag for the month with Shellarty, but I need to have a chat with her. She seems to be doing quite a lot at the moment, so I don't want to sort of bombard her with the hashtag that I wanted to do with her as well if she's already got a lot on her plate. So have a little natter with Shell and see what she says, if she's up for it or not. So hopefully that will be coming in September, but if not, it will be October. But then Halloween's in October. Oh, I'm sure I'll figure something out. What else has been going on? Steve's been signed off work for a month now, a month coming up in September. He has sciatica. He's been to the doctors once. They signed him off for 2 weeks, which obviously I was thrilled about because I love having him home. And then whilst we were on holiday, he phoned in again because it still wasn't sort of clearing up, or we figured, you know, as we walk quite a bit on holiday that it would loosen him up a bit and help, but it didn't. So he called up the doctors and they signed him off for another 2 weeks. Going in with cinnamon now, which is my darkest tone. Signed him off for another 2 weeks, and he was like, oh, you know, thinking by then he'll be ready to go back to work, he'll be better by then. But he's just not. It's just not getting better. And he's even sort of considered maybe switching jobs, or, you know, depending on what the doctors say, maybe he won't be able to work anymore. We really don't know what's going to happen at the moment. So bless him, he feels like since he's turned 50 in July, it's all gone downhill for him, and I feel so bad. He just sort of, he sits on the couch and he's hurting so much, and I just feel so helpless, you know. But obviously I'm making his dinner still and looking after him. I've picked up the washing chore again, which was one of Steve's chores, but I've picked that back up and I started doing the washing again. So yeah, what I'm doing with this is going in sort of the real dark areas of the Grayscale and just picking those out. And then what we'll do is grab our lightest colour again, which is the stink bug, and just with a heavier pressure go over everything and try and bring it all together a bit. Just going to make sure I'm not getting any. Nope. Sometimes with Grayscale I find if I press too hard I can get like, I can see the ink on the other page, but that's not happening, so I don't have to worry about putting a blotter page underneath. Sometimes, let me grab one. I do put one of these underneath, which is like an acetate, and it does help sort of, I don't know, it helps the pencil to grip the paper somehow. It gives it like a harder surface underneath. So as for the background of this image, I kind of see a nice pastel blue sky with some white fluffy clouds. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not the best at backgrounds. So yeah, I quite like how that hat has turned out. I'm going to use the same colours on the post box here. So I'll make sure you're in frame for that. And using the stink bug again, we'll do exactly the same. Just go over everything with a nice light layer. So Grayscale, let's talk about Grayscale for a minute. On my channel, I have been on YouTube now for 1 year and 9 months. Crazy where that time's gone to, but I've made 861 friends currently. And I noticed how my tastes are changing. I'm sort of finding different things that I'm interested in regarding my colouring. So way back when, I used to say I don't get the hype with Hannah Carlson. You know, everyone was colouring in Hannah Carlson pages and I'm like, I just don't get the hype. But now I currently own 4 of her books, I believe. And I do want her Forest one and the Witches one that's coming out. And yeah, I enjoy colouring in Hannah Carlson now. In fact, I own 5 because I've got a whip that I'm doing in one. So another thing I've noticed is I was very anti-Grayscale. I was one of these people that like to put my shading where I think it goes, because Grayscale for me doesn't always put the shading in the, you know, the correct place, the place where I would put it basically. Like, you know, not this image at all, because this image has very good Grayscale, which is why I chose it. But on some, there would be no shading under here, but there'd be random shading in here, in the centre here. And it's like, why? There wouldn't be shading there. But again, since that time of not liking Grayscale, I now do like Grayscale, but certain Grayscale. So I don't like dark Grayscale because I just don't see the point of colouring when it's really dark Grayscale. That's just my personal opinion. The kind of Grayscale I like is light, like this. This is bordering on a little too dark for me. I would like that a little bit lighter, but I can cope with it. I'll just do that part of the bunny dark. So yeah, my views on Grayscale have changed too. I now enjoy doing Grayscale. But like I said, if it's the right kind of Grayscale for me. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do excuse me. This paper for Amazon paper actually feels quite toothy. You can probably hear it as I'm colouring. It sounds quite toothy. But yeah, these pencils are working nicely on it. So that is our base colour. I'm just going to have a sip of my drink. Okay, that was more like downing half a pint, but we'll call it a sip. Next I'll go in with the dark tan again. And this is primarily going to be in some of the darker shaded areas. So yeah, I think this will be a 2-part video, which is fine by me. Hopefully it's okay with you guys. If you like these kind of videos, you know, if you like me doing colour and chats, please do give it a like so I know, and also comment in the comment section below. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, because like I said, I don't do them very often. I know some people like them, some people not so keen. Myself as a watcher as well, you know, watching YouTube. I watch so much YouTube, it's actually quite ridiculous. As long as I'm watching someone colour, I really don't mind if they're sort of talking the whole way through the video or not. I just like the process of watching someone colouring and seeing how their picture comes out. So yeah, I'd be interested to know your thoughts. I am hoping to come back and do a live stream soon. Obviously with hubby off work it has been a little harder, because my usual Saturday 2 PM slot is non-existent at the moment due to hubby being off work. But maybe if I can sort of get him to game or something with his headset on, or pop him in the bedroom for a couple of hours, hopefully I can get a live stream done, because I miss talking to all you guys. And if you're struggling to hear me now, like I said, it is sort of 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm trying to keep my voice down a bit so I don't keep the other half awake. Although when he goes to sleep, he goes to sleep. His head hits the pillow and he knows nothing until he wakes up in the morning, when I tell him that he's been doing King Kong pounds on his chest or hitting me in his sleep. That happens quite frequently. He doesn't know he's doing it. He just sort of lashes out in his sleep, and I usually get the brunt of it. So yeah. What have you guys been colouring lately? Is there any particular projects you're working on? Let me know down below. I've sold my Nintendo Switch Lite, which sadly, if you're an Animal Crossing player, you will feel my depression here, guys. Bear with me. So, I had almost completed my Animal Crossing island, like ready to give out the dream address so people can, you know, come visit it when they go to sleep on Animal Crossing, blah 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 blah. I'd almost completed it. I had done really well in collecting bugs and fish, and I'd got all the dinosaur fossils and everything in my museum. And then when I upgraded my Switch, I did, you know, did all the data transfer and everything, formatted the other Nintendo Switch as I'd sold it, and put my Animal Crossing game in, and had to start completely from scratch. So my gorgeous little island, if you ever come to visit it, is now no more. Riverside has disappeared forever. So my new island now, when I get around to, you know, decorating it again is actually called Disneyland. I decided this time round I wanted to do a theme island. And Disneyland makes me really happy. So I'm going to have fun, you know, trying to create different areas, trying to create the castle, etc., etc. of Disney. But I am beyond gutted still that my other island is gone, because all my characters that I, you know, had to hunt for, that I had to do loads of dreamy hunting for, are all gone. All my dream islanders like Fauna and oh my gosh, I can't even remember their names. Bones, all of them, they've all gone. So now I've got to find them all over again if I want the same villagers. Which I probably will, because the 10 that I had were the cutest ones in my opinion. So yeah, that's that. Now I'm going to go in with cinnamon in the darkest areas. So I think what I'm going to do on Animal Crossing is just go Treasure Island hunting. I went the other day very briefly and picked up enough crowns to give me 4 million in money. So that way I can, when it comes to sort of upgrading my house, I can get that, you know, upgrade done one after the other. And just skip ahead time to get my house big again. But yeah, I've got all that slog to do all over again of finding all the fish and all my tournament trophies, and oh my gosh, I've just got it all to do. But yeah. I don't quite know what this bit is here. I think it's meant to be part of the tree. Maybe this is meant to be a shadow here from the tree. That's how I'm going to do it anyway. Right, let's grab our stink bug again and go over everything. So when I have finished this image completely, I will be posting it on my Instagram. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, head over there. It is the same name, Addicted to Colouring, the number 2. And give me a follow and I'll follow you back. If you've got your account set to private, do know I do not follow private accounts. Even if you're colouring and I can see that it says that you're colouring, if I can't see any of your pictures to know that you are a colourist, I will not follow private accounts. That's just a personal preference thing that I do. So yeah, there's that. And don't forget to check out the links that I'm going to put below for this book and the other two like it, which are called Innocence and Friendship, sorry. I will link all of those below for you guys to check out at your pleasure should you wish to. You can also buy these books in PDF format. So if you don't like the Amazon CreateSpace paper, you can print them off on paper of your choice. I use Navigator, comes in a yellow packet, and I use the 120 GSM paper. It's a very smooth paper, so if you like paper with a lot of tooth, I wouldn't suggest it. But I personally find I colour better on smoother paper. So that's what I use. It's very good for alcohol markers as well, with it being smooth. So that is our letterbox and hat done. Let's keep those pencils to one side because I do want to write that combination down. Next we're going to do the little flowers in her hat, as you can see. For that I've picked out 3 pinks, again Black Widow's sets. So we've got light pink from the Monarch set. Hopefully you can see that because I can't actually see my camera. Then we have Fudge, which is a slightly darker pink, again from Monarch. And then we have Fairy Floss from Skinlight Collection. And hopefully this will give us some pretty pink flowers. So you probably won't even see this first colour because it is very, very light. But just know that I'm giving it a light base all over. So I guess the colours that I've chose for this page, because I've picked a lemony yellow for her dress, I kind of saw it as very pastel-y, vintage spring colours. That was how I envisioned it in my head. And I wanted to pick some combinations ahead of the video so you guys don't have to watch me go through that bit. So that's the first colour done. Now we're going to go in with Fudge. And we're going to take this sort of 3/4 of the way up the petal, up each petal, leaving the very tip as the lightest colour. Who's excited for the new Black Widow pencils to come out? I know I am. I cannot wait to add another 36 pencils to my collection. I'm really hoping to give these some more love before the new set come out. I am deliberating buying the Marco Renoirs, but they are £50. So that would take up a good chunk of the money that I earned from selling my Switch Lite. But they have been and still are at the top of my wish list, and they've been there for a good year now. Okay, and now with our fairy floss, we're going to do sort of halfway up the petal. And if I need to bring in a dark pink still, I will do, but we'll see how we get on. Just using the line work that's already here as a guide to where to put shading and things. I think I will bring in a dark pink just because this isn't as dark as I hoped it would be. Pretty, but I still need a slightly darker pop of colour. Let's see, what do we have? Maybe bubblegum? Okay. It's still quite subtle, but it will do. Now I'm going to pick a yellow for the centre. So I think I will go for egg yolk. That will give it a little sort of pop of colour there. Cute. Now we can work on her dress. Let's see how I'm doing for time. 40 minutes, not bad. I wanted to keep it sort of under an hour for uploading and processing times and what have you. So my combination for her dress is, from the Monarch set we have cream, then from Scorpion we have pastel lemon, and from Cobra we have mustard. So again, trying to keep sort of vintagey colours. Let's bring that out so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm just going to go over the whole dress with a light layer of the cream to start off with. I really do love these Monarchs. I think for me they're a softer lead. That's what they feel like. They feel softer and they feel more pigmented than the other Black Widows. They're really nice to work with. And that's coming from someone that doesn't really like softer pencils. I tend to get on better with like a Polychromos, a hard pencil. light base all over. Like so. Then with our pastel lemon, we're gonna go in some of the darker areas. So, do any of you guys watch Love Island? That's just finished here in the UK, which I'm gutted about. There is a new show coming on about this one woman that has to date all these guys or something, but the girlfriend's in on it, of the guys. I can't really tell you off by hand too much about it. I think it's to win money or something, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's meant to be coming on soon. So I'll probably give that a go, see if it's any good. I did see on Facebook that Channel 4 were going to bring out a show, and they've marketed wanting people to audition for it. Very much like Love Island. It's like they've taken the font and everything of Love Island to make it look like a show like that. So we'll see what that's like when that comes out, but they've not even started filming it yet. They're just wanting people to audition for it, so yeah, it'll be interesting when that graces our screens. Now we have the mustard, and this is to go into the darkest places. This was the colour that I was unsure about when making this combination. But I didn't want it brown, and I didn't want it too yellow. I wanted sort of a vintage yellow. So I went for the mustard. As far as YouTube goes, with my uploading, I have part 2 of my A to Z of completed pages videos to put up, which will be the letter B. So I've got that to film and upload. The lovely Lily from, is it Art Adventure something UK? Sorry if I've butchered your channel name, Lily. She's tagged me in the Olympic tag that's floating about on YouTube, so that was lovely. She dropped into my Instagram DM and was like, hey, I don't know whether you do tags, but I've tagged you. So I do tags, so thank you for tagging me, Lily. It's always a pleasure when watching someone's video and you hear your name pop up as I'd like to tag Zoe, and I'm like, oh, that's me. It's so nice. It makes you feel part of the community, you know. It's really nice. So thank you. If you want to be tagged in that, please let me know below, and I'll be sure to tag you, because I know it's been floating around for a little while, and I don't know how many people that I watch that have done it or not, or would want to do it. So that's our mustard, and now we're going to go back over with the cream just to blend everything together. Just going to check underneath again. I am using a sheet, so it doesn't matter. I was going to see if I was ghosting yet on the next page, but I forgot I put some acetate underneath, so that's not going to happen. Okay, so that is our little bunny's dress done, and that is where we are going to call it for part 1 of this video. So I hope you'll join me in part 2. Let's zoom you out so you can see what we've done. So part 2 will be finishing off. I'll pick out some green for the leaves and the grass, a brown for the tree stump, some colours for the bunny, as I haven't yet decided what colour to do her, and this letter might get a light dusting of stink bug, just so it looks sort of a bit like an aged envelope. And yeah, we'll try and do something with the background, put like a cloudy sky or something there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed the catch up. Like I said, if you let me know in the comments whether you like this kind of video or not, it will help me out a great deal. And if you don't mind, if you could like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care and happy colouring!